I'm keeping that in. Hello, and welcome to ranking every MCC S and A plus tier player. And before we begin, the reason why I'm doing S and A plus is same reason as Blockwords, which is I only do S and A plus tier players, as beyond that can be viewed as me, and I'm not ranking every player. So let's begin a list. So our lowest A plus tier player we have here is 5UP, as you can see, and the issue is he's very, very inconsistent. He ranges from 6 to like 29th, I think, maybe even lower. I'm pretty sure it's 29th. He has showed that he can lead a team and has a lot of the leadership skills as an A plus tier player. However, he is pretty much mechanically A, which is very similar to H-Bomb in terms of S tier leadership, but A plus tier mechanics. But I still feel like 5UP is A plus nonetheless, just the lowest of the bunch. But don't get me wrong, he's still very skilled. Next up we have Shadoon, and the reason why he's this low is because he's only just now gotten top 10. However, it was also his first ever event. Second ever event, because in his first ever event he got like 30 something in his 30s. So, and that's his first event, so people do usually tend to place pretty low for the first event. But for the reason of him getting in the 30s for his first event, I feel like he still should be placed pretty low down on the A plus tier spectrum. However, he still is A plus tier, H plus mechanically skilled, and I feel like he is A plus, and he has proved this with his last event where he got top 10 and won the event. Next up, we have Tommy Innit, which is also very inconsistent, like 5UP. He ranges from 32nd to 2nd, so that's 30 places difference. He is very mechanically skilled as an A plus tier player, I feel like, but it's more when he feels like it, when he's in the right mood. I feel like he's an example of when he underperforms, he really underperforms. But despite all this, he is definitely A plus in my mind, and is really good. Next up, we have Hannah XX Rose, which also got her first ever top 10 last event. So she has been promoted to A plus. She is A plus tier in terms of mechanics, and she's shown that she can lead a team. Granted, it was an MCC 27, however, she's still a good leader and is very good as a co-leader as well, as we've seen with her teams of Sapnap. She is not top fragged in a canon event yet, however she is top fragged in a half canon event, so I'd like to see her top frag. But still, she is very good and is A plus tier in my mind, and is more of kind of lower middle of the pack, but still very skilled nonetheless. Next up we have Smallish Beans, who is kind of, this would be surprising to see a little bit a while back, but after MCC 26, I would say he is A plus, and especially after his MCC Scuffed performance, where he got first individual. However, that was MCC Scuffed, so no S tier for him yet. He's a very skilled player and is very mechanically skilled, and he's a good leader, as he is top fragged a couple times. I feel like he is an A plus tier player and probably has more potential than we think. So, yeah. Great. Hope to see more of him soon in Season 3. Next up we have Tapple, or Tapel, but I call him Tapple. So Tapple might be a bit surprising to see this low. Oh, well, even though he's more middle A+, but you'd still expect him to be higher up. However, he's not gotten top 10 in a candidate since MCC 15. However, this does not mean he's not A+. He has shown that he is very good with elite teams and has proven at MCC 24, and Scott has nerfed this man to the ground. So, yeah, he's just had some unlucky teams, some underperforming teams, really bad team balancing. Come on, Scott, like, give this man a good team. And he did get a good team in MCC Scuffed. He got 11. However, again, that was MCC Scuffed. So, just died in there. Anyways, moving on. Next up we have SB737, and he has not gotten top 5 yet. However, not changed the fact that he's a very, very skilled player, and has shown that he can lead a team, as shown in MCC 23. He's a really good co-leader as well, as shown in MCC 20, and overall, I feel like he just needs more MCCs to prove himself and will get higher up on this list. Despite all this, he's very, very skilled, especially in just pretty every mechanic, mostly movement, and yeah. And also team games, you might add. I think he's stronger in team games. Anyways, next up we have Phil, which a lot of people don't even think is A+, which is very surprising. He's been A+ since MCC 12 in my opinion. However, excuse me. However, I feel like he is definitely very underrated. He is very good at Rocket Leaf Rush and other movement games, but he's also very good at the PvP games, especially survival games. He's very underrated in survival games. So yeah, Phil is very, very good and has a lot more potential than what meets the eye. And I feel like he's A+, and he's pretty high up on A+ as well, and I just hit my head pretty hard. Anyways, next up we have CPK here, and yeah, so he's definitely not doing as good as he used to, but does not change the fact that he is still a very good player. He definitely shown that he's A+ in MCC 20 when he got 16th place on a team where everybody else got 38th, 39th, and 40th. And he also showed that he can lead a team and shows MCC 22 and 23 and so on and so forth. So yeah, CPK, very, very good player and very, very mechanically skilled. As you can see here, he beat the Harden here in Power Warrior. But moving on, next up we have Wally Bear, and he got 4th place in his first ever MCC, and this is very, very impressive because the only person who, the last person to have done this was Dream in MCC 6. So he's the first person to get top 5 in his first ever event since MCC 6, where it was Dream and Fruit Berries who got top 5. And I think that just proves how skilled this player is. And I thought Wally Bear definitely has a lot of potential. It might even be S tier. Next up, we have one of the most underrated MCC players, Fundy. Not only is he very mechanically skilled, but he's also very, very smart, as you can see by this play here going on with his with the Pistons. But Fundy is very underrated. He's very, very, very skilled in the movement department. Like, I don't know what else to say. He's very, very good at movement in other games, and he can show that he's lead a team. He's gotten top 5 a couple times, and yeah. The issue is he just doesn't play like at all anymore. So I feel like that's why most people don't talk about him more. But still, Fundy, really, really good, really underrated. Yeah. So next up we have Dave Kratzy, which is the best A+ tier player. So Dave here might even become S tier soon in season 3, as he outfragged Fruit Berries and got top 5 in MCC 30. And overall, I feel like he has a lot of potential. He's pretty underrated as well, but I feel like with all this MCC Island practice he's definitely gotten a lot better. And he's probably been the top A+ tier player since season 1. So yeah, and that wraps up all of the A+ tier players, and now we're moving on to the S tiers. But actually we're not, as we got an H tier player here, which is H-Bomb. Yep. I'm not arguing if he's S or A+. I'm just going to do H tier here. So H-Bomb, as I said earlier, has the best leadership and anybody in the entire event, better than any S tier, which is why he's so high up. However, the issue is he has A+ tier mechanics. So yeah, he is H tier for that reason alone. And he's even gotten first individual as shown in MCC 24, and he does have some S tier pop-offs, but for the most part, he's A+ tier mechanically skilled, but is so good at leadership that he deserves his own tier as H tier. So now we're going to get into the real S tiers. And our lowest skilled S tier is Puns, and he's still really good, especially in his early days. However, the issue why he's so low is because he's had some massive underperformances recently. This is mostly because he hasn't been playing as much Minecraft. But he has been speedrunning recently, so this all might change. Punch is very skilled despite his underperformances, and a lot of people are trying to demote him to A+, but he's not. He is S tier and will probably forever be S tier. So don't change your mind because of a couple underperformances. He's really good, but because of his underperformances, this is why he is so low down here. Next up, we have Ant Frost, which is the only S tier to not get first individual, with his highest placement being third or second in a non-canon event. Ant Frost is still mechanically skilled and is S tier. He's better than Puns, if that shows anything. A lot of people don't consider him S tier because he has not gotten first, but he's just so much better than all the A+ tier players, and out-fragged Puns on the same team as him, and almost out-fragged Purpled on the same team as him. That just proves that he is S tier, and he is very, very skilled and has shown that he can lead multiple teams on his own. So, yeah, he is S tier no matter what you say, and he will probably get first individual very, very soon. Next up, we have Dream, and he's very, very, very skilled in both PvP, movement, and team games, and he's a really great leader, and he's the best dodgeball player as well. So if all this you're probably thinking, why is he so low down? And the main reason for this is, A, all the other S tiers are better than him, but also because, well, he's probably underperformed the most out of any S tier, and yeah, it's unlucky, it's unfortunate, but that's just how it has to be. And all the S tiers are really close in skill, might I add, except for 4 players, 4 or 5, I think 5. Yeah, the top 5, and the rest are really, really close. So just because someone's low down, like Ant, Dream, and Puns, that does not mean they're very bad. But still, Dream, here we are. And moving on, we have JoJo Solos, and she is very, very good, and she's gotten first twice in MCC 25 and in MCC 29, and was at one point the highest coin average of any MCC Season 3 player. Most because you got first in the first ever event of it, but rest my case. She's very skilled at the same time, getting first like 4 times in a row, and fat carrying her team in the last event, which basically got their entire team to dodgeball. So yeah, she is very skilled and an S tier player, and can show that she can lead multiple teams. And yeah, moving on. Next up, we're moving to Fruit Berries, and he's probably the best Minecraft player out of anybody here, but he just does not prepare for MCC at all. He doesn't do any VOD reviews, which is something I wish everybody did. Like, I do not like VOD reviewing. But anyways, VOD reviewing, not VOD reviewing. Shut up. Anyways, yeah, Fruit Berry's very, very skilled, very insane at the game, psychopathic. But if he just understood the MCC games and mechanics a lot more, then yeah, he'd probably be the best player in the entire event. But for this reason, that's why he is so low down. And next up, we have Quig, and he's pretty underrated. Honestly, he's one of the best Season 1 players and one of the best Season 2 players. But I feel like just the other players are just simply better than him, and that is literally the only issue we have with him. He's really, really good, and honestly, I feel kind of bad for putting someone as good as him, like, not really high up, even though he is kind of high up. But still, like, that is the only reason he's this, is because everybody else is just better. But do not get me wrong, Quig is still really, really good, and I think he's kind of underrated, not gonna lie. So yeah, moving on. And in number 6, we have Pizza Hut, and we're about to get to the top 5 best players. But next, we have to talk about Pizza Hut. And honestly, the only reason he is this low is because of that time in Season 2 where he just struggled really bad. And I feel like that's the only reason he's this low. He's doing a lot better, but I think that's the list that gave him down. He was insane in Season 1, and he's proven that he can do really good in Season 3 as well. But the problem is, yeah, it's a couple underperformances, and that's kind of unlucky. And yeah, so now we're getting to the top 5 best MCC players of all time. And at number 5, we have Sapnap, which is the best PvP player in MCC. He just has that confidence, and he just does not shake or get nervous during PvP at all. He just goes in and dominates, and that's him for MCC just as a whole. He doesn't prep that much, which is kind of why he's so low down, is that he just does not prep. He does some practice and stuff, but just not as much as the people above him. And yeah, he just goes in and dominates, and for that reason, that's why he is number 5. And at number 4, we have Fire Breath Man, which is relatively new to the MCC, but he is still insane. So Shane here is very good at Block Wars, as I said in my last video, and he's still really good at MCC. He even trained Technoblade in MCC 7. He has shown that he can do good in canon and non-canon events, as he got first place in his first ever event, 27, and got first place in his second ever real event, MCC 30. So yeah, he is very skilled, very good at PvP, and yeah, number 4. And now we're gonna move on. And in number 3, we have, I had a voice crack, but I'm gonna keep it in. Number 3, we have Technoblade, and yeah, it kind of hurts to put him this low, even though he's 3rd. But he only had one first individual. Granted, it was the point record, which is why he's so high up, and he dominated while he was in MCC. If you just look at his refi stats, you get to see his average placements in the games, and yeah, it's insane to think about how much this man dominated Season 1. And yeah, he did really good in his Season 2 event as well. Granted, it was non-canon, but yeah, Technoblade is still an amazing MCC player, and the only issue is that one first individual. But he's still really good, do not get me wrong, and he will be missed. Rest in peace. And in number 2, which is something I would not have said before MCC 31, is Illumina. I thought he was the GOAT before, but after MCC 31, my opinion changed. And Illumina is very, very good. He has 3 first individuals, 5 if you count non-canon, and this man is a psychopath. As you can see here, he got 4 aces in MCC 28, and MCC 28, Illumina is, in my opinion, the best event performance of all time. Like, getting top 3 in every individual game, and it gets, like, that's just insane to me to think about. Like, the only person who has gone something similar to that is Quig MCC 10. And yeah, Illumina is really, really good, really insane. He got 4th on a ninth place team, and well, it was a nice team as well, but still, yeah, Illumina is really good. And the only player who I think is better than him is none other than Purpled Bed Wars. So after MCC 31, with Purple's insane performance, he's been granted the best MCC player, in my opinion. So yeah, Purple is the best player. He got 3rd place on a 10th place team, and yeah, he hasn't like left top 3 in a while. And if he does leave top 3, then that is an underperformance for him. And if you leave top 3 and it is an underperformance, then you just know you're good. So yeah, Purple is the best MCC player, in my opinion. And thank you all for watching, and I will hopefully do more event videos similar to this soon. And yeah, if you like this one, if you've not seen my Block Wars one, then make sure you checked it out. And so yeah, with all that out of the way, I don't know, goodbye.